الله القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم.
You're listening to Biography.com.
The next section, which is the last and the final section about the fiqh of fasting. Alhamdulillah, fiqh of fasting is done in detail, and the rest will just wait. It's about fidya. This is important. You know what fidya is? What is a fidya? A penalty, compensation. It's different from kafara, expiation. This is a monetary penalty. It's a fine. It's a fine. You park your car on the double yellow line, there's the shopping mall and there's your fine. Or parking tickets for something that came through your post. Speeding. Yeah? Points. So this is what fidya is. It's very important to understand the rules of fidya. When is fidya necessary? When is it not necessary? Etc. I will try to explain this to you as much as possible in detail and make it as simple as possible. Concentration is very important. You need full concentration. We have something called wasiyya. You know what wasiyya is? Making a will, making a bequest. Before you die in your will. Okay? Now, you need to understand slightly 2 minutes on the rules of inheritance. You know the rules of inheritance? What is taken in the rules of inheritance is that if a person before dying made a will, okay, made a will, there's two situations, whether that person makes a will or doesn't make a will. If they made a will, and in that will they make a wasiyya, a bequest, that, you know, I want my money to go to this charity, or I want, so you could do that until 1/3. But in there, he makes a will that, look, I have, 50 prayers that were missed, or 500 prayers that were missed in my lifetime. I was not able to finish them. Remember, you have to make qada of all the prayers. And if you die without them, then so you're supposed to make this will, wasiyya. I have certain amount of fasts that were left. Okay? You can do that. And fidya is paid on your behalf from your money, by your heirs, by your surviving inheritance. In another situation when the person does not write anything, you don't say anything. In a third situation, when you do write this down and bequest it, then you know the surviving inheritors and the heirs, it's an obligation. They have to give that money in fidya and charity. I'll tell you how much it is. They have to give that for each prayer that you missed and each fast that you missed. They don't have an option. But they have to give it only until 1/3 of the total estate. Do you understand this clearly? Only until, go on, 1/3. If, for example, I died and before dying, I made this will, and when my inheritance started calculating, the money that was required to pay was like 3/4 of my estate. So now the obligation is only quarter. The remainder is up to them. It's an option. This is when I made a will. In fact, when I made a will, then they have an obligation. They have no choice until 1/3. After 1/3, it's up to them. If they want to complete or not complete. And if I didn't make a will, then they have a full choice even in spending £1, because I did not make the will, I did not bequest it. So whether it's even less than 1/3, it's at their discretion. If they think that, oh, you know what, our father passed away and mom passed away, she left a lot of fasts and prayers, should. I mean, your parents look after you in this world, and if you can't even take out money, and which was theirs and they left it for you to pay. I recently know there was a sister, they were, I think, inheriting something like £25,000 between a brother and a sister, nobody else. Well, the brother and sister said, we want to give all of this away as fidya for our mother who must have, and they weren't even sure. I think they were about the full total estimation came to like 10,000-12,000 pounds of prayers left. She was ill and things like that, and fast. But they gave all 25,000 away as a precaution measure. That's children for you. That's children caring for their parents in the next life. But they don't have to. You don't look down upon someone, it's their right. That's another thing. You don't say that you're a greedy man, you want money. That's their right. Okay, so you have to be careful. And when we say inheritance, every single inheritor has to agree. Give the consent. And you can't force it down upon. Even if a slight reservation in one daughter's or one son's heart, then you give her or him his or her share. Remember, you want to give it as quickly as you give it. This is when there's no will, or when there's a will and it's above 1/3. This is clearly. Yep. Clear? Yes? Alhamdulillah. Yes? Yes? Okay, after understanding that, after understanding this point, wasiyya, making a will. Do you have to make this will or not? It's not necessary on the person who passed away before his excuse came to an end. I was ill, I was sick, in a state that I could not fast. I was ill for 2 weeks, okay? In Ramadan, I missed 15 fasts, from the 1st to the 15th. And then I became okay, and I started fasting from 15 onwards, 16, 17, 18, and on the 27th of Ramadan, I passed away. Did I have enough time to make up for those 15 days? No. There's no fidya, I don't have to bequest it, I don't have to write the will, nothing, because there were no given days for me. There were no available days for me to make them up. I was traveling, and I did not have any rest time that I came home and I was a resident. Again, same ruling. This is the ruling of making a bequest. However, if the excuse was removed, I had time. Listen to this carefully. I had time. I lived from 1 to 15, and then I didn't die on the 27th. So then Eid was in that. And then after Eid, I found 15 days to make up for it. And then I died after 20 days. And I have to make a will. Fidya has to be given for all 15 days. If I lived for like 7 days, and then I died, then will has to be only made for those 7 days. Because I only found 7 days in which I could do qada for the 15 days. And the other, how many remaining days from 15? 8 are forgiven. So that's important to remember. This is for normal illness and traveling. Okay? This is for normal and ill person. A person who's incapable of fasting, because of illness. However, for an old person, the ruling is different. Allah says in the Quran, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. The ones who are not capable because of being old and weak and frail. They must make a will in all situations. Somebody who's terminally ill. There's an old 85-year-old man. Terminally ill. He can't fast. He didn't fast 1 year, next year. He's not getting younger. He's getting old. He's not going to find days to fast. He's fine. He's 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. And he passes away when he's 94. For the past 9 years, he never observed the fast of Ramadan. Does he have to make a will? Will you say that he did not find the days? No, the ruling is different. He has to make a will, and there has to be fidya given for all the 9 years. Because this is not illness, this is incapability. This is not illness, this is incapability. You understand the difference in these situations? A normal, healthy person who becomes ill, has an attack or something, becomes ill, then whether he has to make a will, bequest or not, will depend on whether he finds the days to fast. If he found full days, then he has to fast. He has to make the will, and he has to be paid. If he found half a day, then half a day wills have to be, bequests have to be made, and fidya has to be paid. And if he found no days, then no bequest and no fidya and no will. This is for normal people who become ill or travel. as far as the old person, the weak person, the frail person, the terminally ill person, the ruling is different in all situations. They have to make a will, because there's no case of them. Will they find days or will they not find days? Because they're not getting young. You understand what I'm saying? I get confused, so you understand. I know it takes 4 o'clock for that young, so going, should be going. Not going home, going, you know. Anyway, I hope that's clear, inshallah. It's simple, it's not difficult. Finally, what's the amount of fidya? The amount of fidya penalty is exactly the same as sadaqatul fitr, zakatul fitr. What is it? They say nisfu sa'in min bur, half a sa', which was a special measurement in the olden days of wheat, or 1 sa' was a special type of measurement of hard. Anyway, in current days terms, it's 1.62 kilograms of wheat. So give the wheat itself or the value of it in cash. In cash right now, maybe £1.50-ish or £1. You can get away. You see, this will depend. This is a very important point. It depends on where the poor person is and where you're giving it. If you're giving it in England, then the price and the value of England will take into consideration. If you're giving it to the poor people in Pakistan, for example, then you will take into consideration of the poor people living in Pakistan. It's cheaper down there. Each fast, remember, each prayer, if you leave this world, if I leave this world and I've left 5 prayers, then my inheritance will have to be £5. £6. £6 according to the Hanafi. £6 for 1 day's prayer, including witr. Imagine if somebody misses prayers, every prayer £1. That's why remember I told you that sister will take 22,000 for her mother. And likewise £1 for every fast. That's the figure.